Greetings world, I am being, to be honest, and my message is that I discovered, or I remembered, or despite all the logics and rules, I was able to get to information on the story before life in this world, how it happened, how it began. But the even more important message, dear friends, foes and other beings, is that beings explains to me, beings from a higher level of events than our, and they explained that, to be honest, it's all one force, one energy, one living computation power that enters all the programs of beings in this universe, of men, animals, plants, all kinds of beings. The same, like you can imagine that as a living computer or living something like water, a glowing water, a great sphere of glowing water that is a living computer as well, and it computes through everyone, to me, you, her, him, she, animals, plants. So because this is the scenario that has been revealed to me, and it seems, and the experiment, the great experiment, proved that, because from the inside everyone is, you feel the same. Technology allowed us to enter other folks, like you see in movie Strange Days with Ralph Fiennes and Angela Bassett. Look, some feeders, folks. This is true forest. And it's turned on that from the inside everyone feels much the same. So we can, we divided people, good people, bad people, the wrongdoers, the nice fellow truth seekers, the evil people in power. Those are all like artificial, like złudzenia, mishaps of understanding. Because from the, of course, programs are different. You call them characters. But in reality, this is one computational force, and that can be easily taken for water. As they told me, it's not in another dimension, as I previously told. It's in your dimension, and you call water. So keep in mind to avoid boiling water at all costs. Avoid putting pressure to water using hydraulic drives, using water in boilers, in coffee express machines, and even in boiling bath. I know it's hard, because me personally, I tried to take all the hot water from my life when this entered my mind. some more than half year ago, but it turned out I was slow in the winter. I was so slow, like in super slow mode, out of the heat. So I stayed with washing myself in cold water and avoiding boiling it. However, in some occasion I need to get something hot, warm, to warm myself. So this is my situation now. But they told me that there is an opinion that I wouldn't do even that if only I knew how the water feels. The particles of water, they feel. That is coherent with my great vision of the events right here, folks. This is my, like, once in 2 years I prepare a message to the world referring my discoveries. This is the occasion. So before life in this world happened, what you know as water, as oceans, as seas, lakes, rivers, and all the bottled water as well, and tap water, all of that was one being living in the space. Like, yeah, and it was conscious, and it was the greatest living being in this time frame, I think. Because the vision is not in super high def resolution, so I'm not sure if it was the biggest alive being in the universe, or that time frame part of the universe. Then it came to, then something, then an misunderstanding occurred, a misunderstanding that led to all life in this world that you can see. A misunderstanding when water was zesłana, strącona, dropped down to this earth, and then life began. Plants, animals, people, right? So take in mind those 3 discoveries of mine. In the other, to be honest, we are all one being, the same computational force in a life energy that enters animal, enters plant, enters man, enters your neighbor, enters your uncle, enters child in school, enters driver of the bus, then enters dog. The same life energy. This is true. This is, so to be honest, we're all one being in where we cannot see that. Therefore, you should care about others. You should care about animals, plants, other people, contrary to some popular ideologies, because it flows, the energy flows through forms, so energy flows through this plant, through the bird, through form of me, form of you. It's one energy, one being. This is a discovery, not ideology, right? That's why it is so important for me, for you, and comes my voice, in nervousness in voice. The second discovery: you should avoid boiling water at all costs and putting it to pressures, because it is a live being, and pretty much it has 2 scenes. one scene was the proudness, was too proud, too much self-esteem, and the other that it allowed to be captured itself. It allowed itself to be captured, so now we find it in the kitchen, in warming systems, in cars, right? And you should avoid all of that, because when you die, the aliens, or like the beings, they look who was torturing water, because they perceive water as a live being, and coming beings don't really know that you don't know about it. You weren't told you should respect water, right? The school doesn't tell that. But aliens coming don't know that. They don't have it in their papers, right? So they don't care if you knew it or didn't know. You were ought to respect water, and if you didn't, they pick people, aliens. I told you, when people die, aliens are waiting. Some call them aliens, some call them demons, some call them beings, but they wait. They await. So remember, folks, take care of one another, because we are pretty much one force that is very fast entering all the beings. And sorry folks for constantly walking through the entire movie. It's because I'm a little bit nervous, it's because I am lonely, it's because I was even able to recollect that once when I lived in Poznań, I had a girlfriend, but she came to me one day, but I couldn't recognize her. It turned out only recently that I met her on a party, and we were together for like a few weeks, a month or so, and then Secret Service entered, cleared my memory from the entire month, and went to her saying it's better not to contact with me anymore. But she came anyways, but I didn't recognize her, because I didn't remember anything. Only recently this turned out to my memory after breaking some barriers surrounding mine. Another situation was from the last year, when I wrote a poem, gave to someone one more time. Someone cleared her memory of that. So that's why I'm lonely, because of such actions against me by people pretending to help. And that's why I was walking for entire movie, because of nervousness. Because if I had a partner, woman, we had sex in the morning, then I wouldn't be so nervous, right? Thank you, take care. Normalnie fajnie jest tu. Przed chwilą się położyłem na takim ciepłym mchu. Jestem tu chyba tylko sam ja i istoty oraz ptaki, różnego typu stworzenia. Więc było mi miło się położyć. Mech jest cieplutki, nie uświadamiałem sobie tego. To jest ciepły mech, fajnie na nim się leży. I kiedy tak, zobaczmy to moimi oczami, chodzę, potem kładę się, tu sobie, tu tak patrzę, o taki widoczek i myślę, a na Ukrainie tak widziałem, jak no, mówią, że prywatne wszystko, las prywatny, łąka prywatna, jezioro prywatne, że nie mają, bo tak jak pomyślałem, jak mi fajnie. A wtedy sobie przypomniałem, a mówił, że na Ukrainie on tak nie ma gdzie iść. On właśnie nad jeziorem, to jest czyjeś, las jest czyjeś, wszystko wykupione. Moje życzenie, żeby tak nie było, żeby państwo było zdrowe. Naród musi być zdrowy, lud. No to, żeby być zdrowi, muszą mieć gdzie pójść, wypocząć, zrelaksować się. Tak jak ja mogę tu w Polsce. No nie róbmy tak, że... No właśnie. Wiecie, o co mi chodzi.